Hey, you're about to watch a clip from my Empty Opinions podcast. If you would like to check out the full episode, you can listen to it with the links in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the clip. All right, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the fucking Abolish the Police shit, which we kind of mentioned in the last episode that we did together, but we didn't really delve too deep into it. What is it? What is that movement? What is it about?
It's different for different people, honestly. Fun fact, I was in the riots. When Philly did the riots, okay. I was in the fucking field. That shit was crazy.
So you were in. You were seeing the movement, I guess.
It's crazy because it started as a protest at the art museum. Okay. And we walked. And by the time, as we were walking, it was a massive group of people. People was like spray painting shit, so you could feel it building up. But once we got to Broad and Vine, which is a long ass fucking walk, I can't believe we walked that far. Yeah. Niggas just started fucking up a cop car. Like, just started fucking it up. And niggas started cheering it on. And they was, like, destroying it. I think they set it on fire or some shit like that. Man. This is from my eyes, though.
Right, well, you
like,
were
it probably could have popped off somewhere else. But
well, when you saw it, yeah.
Yeah. So then cops came, tear gas, blah, blah, blah. And the rest is history. But, yeah, I witnessed that shit firsthand. Cursed out a few cops. Shit was crazy.
That's great. That sounds like a fun time. But what exactly is about, like, to you, what does that mean? What does that movement be?
To me,
yeah,
I think it means destroying the establishment completely and building a community-based policing system that doesn't aim towards arresting people for prison labor and aims towards rehabilitation. That's what it means to me. To other people, it may mean defunding the police, which means, you know, the police get paid damn near $1 billion every year. That building, we had a protest in front of the new watchtower or whatever that they're building for the police. That's on Broad and Callahill or some shit. It used to be the Inquirer building. It's cost they're paying $300 million to renovate that fucking building into another cop building, and we went there like $300 fucking million. When niggas is homeless and starving and shit, really? You niggas is tripping. So a lot of people are saying defund the police because they're getting paid entirely too much. They're getting big-ass guns and all this equipment. And it's just like, it's militarization, basically. Yeah. They're basically turning into the fucking army because they perpetuate violence. They perpetuate, policing is violence because they want to police communities. They want to keep motherfuckers in check. So they're saying defund the police, which means cutting it in half, cutting the budget in half, putting it in schools, putting it in homes and shit like that, which shouldn't really be an argument, but of course
that definitely shouldn't be an argument. It's crazy how you see, and I don't know who does it, you know, I don't want to get conspiratorial, but there's got to be somehow, I don't know what it is, but the way that those kind of easy to understand terms get like bent out of shape. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or like movements that are very easy to understand. Like this reminds me even when Colin Kaepernick like kneeled. Yeah. And how that seemed like such a like innocent way to protest.
Innocent thing. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
disrespecting the flag, disrespecting
it turned into the flag and like it turned into something completely different. And that's the same thing that happened with defunding the police, which is, like you said, just simply you know, defunding it and funding other things with that money. But then people were like, oh, it means getting rid of the police, which is a very, you know, I understand that's what you want, but that is a very hard concept for a lot of people to get. It's a very, what's the term? Like,
radical.
Yes, radical.
Radical to them. Because a lot of people say radical. We be saying shit like, oh, people shouldn't starve. People should have houses. And they're like, radical. Oh, that's radical. But you can, you know, construct an entire system that oppresses an entire race, and that's not radical. That's that's just real life. I'm like, whatever.
Right. But yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's the term, the idea of getting rid of police to these people who don't even try to think it through or see the reason behind it, to them is radical. Yeah. But so I can understand why some people might be like on the surface of it, like opposing that if they don't understand it. But defunding the police also started as such an easy thing to understand. Yeah. They got too much money. Like,
well, that's, I think, because what they see as defunding the police means less cops, which means yes, technically it would mean less cops because, you know, they wouldn't be able to buy more fucking cops. They wouldn't be able to buy more. They wouldn't be able to pay more cops. They wouldn't be able to pay all those salaries if they decrease the budget.
But it's a lot of things that go into that defunding the police thing too, like such as just the fact that like having to call the police for certain shit that you don't need to call the police for. That's the prime example. Like George Floyd situation is a prime example of that. Where like if they believed there was a fraudulent check and that led to that. I mean, there is no need for the police for 3 cops to show up because of that. You know what I mean?
There's an over reliance on the police state because they use it to instill, I guess, what's the word? Not discrimination, but dissonance amongst poor people, working class people, people that aren't rich. You know, a lot of these middle class people want to be protected. A lot of these almost rich people want to feel protected. They feel at peace that the police will always make sure that these niggas, these broke motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to revolt or get what they need or break the law, shit like that. So it's just an over reliance, and they don't understand how that affects us.
Yeah, it is definitely an over reliance, but it's like, okay, but then let's talk about this because it's something I like to think about. So then, what should happen in the instance of, let's say that, like, let's play that situation again with that lady. She believes that the check is fraudulent, which, I mean, in and of itself, that's already an issue because she's, acting on her racist tendencies, whatever. That goes even deeper. But then let's say whatever, she's somewhat racist and she thinks this guy, how the fuck does he have this check? It must be fake. Who does she call then if it's not the police? Because I feel like that's the thing. A lot of people are indoctrinated, like they're almost like we were talking about what's the movie, Stanley Kubrick movie we were just talking about? Clockwork Orange. We're kind of brainwashed into thinking whatever the fucking problem is, let's just call the cops. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like there needs to be something before the police. I feel like police should be the last resort to something. You know what I mean?
Community-based reform, whatever. I don't know exactly. Community-based. Hold on, because it's killing me now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just community-based policing kind of would be.
But the word can't be policing because that means police. You see what I'm saying?
So it's like regulation, like accountability.
Regulation, defund the cops, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Anything that isn't, I don't know the specific word for it, and it's kind of killing me. But, that's where the community, because then you have people that can be mediators. It can be people that's like, oh, all right, you called us because this person has a counterfeit check. Yeah, but it's not that fucking deep. So you stop counterfeiting checks,
right?
And you stop calling cops on black people.
Yeah,
but
you know what I'm trying to say though, with the thing of like, who does she call? Besides it being, obviously, I think you're right. There should be something where like we try to hold each other accountable instead of like forcing accountability onto people because that doesn't really make any real change, right? But I'm just thinking like, if we're taking it like step by step, there just needs to be like maybe even like a fucking like some sort of like security guard. Like, why the fuck did that person go straight to 911? Like, because, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like we said, it was an over reliance. It was her own racist tendencies.
Yeah.
It's her own what they call Karens. It's her. It's their own racial tendencies.
That's a scary Karen because that's a Karen. I can't even. How is she doing? Why the fuck is nobody talking about her? The fucking Karen that called the cops.
On the dude in the bird part?
No. Just for George Floyd. I'm like,
nobody's... I'm getting confused. They all the fucking same.
Yeah, it's definitely too many Karens. But I'm just saying...
you was talking about another gender.
Right. No, but I'm saying, like, what's going on with her? Why is nobody even talking about her? What the fuck is happening?
I mean, she basically committed fucking murder.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But then again, it's just like... You can't really expect these people to understand the consequences of calling the police on a black person. They don't have to understand that. They're in their own world. They're in their own bubble. They just know, I'm going to protect what's mine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely not good. Yeah. But again, I keep going back to that question. So then who should she call? Who should have... fuck, I'm getting too many SH words getting me confused.
Honestly, giving the world that we live in right now, right? Like, so she should have just let it slide. I would have just let it slide. I mean,
I think maybe that's what.
At the end of the day, you get paid the same wage regardless. It's $1 billion business that you work at. They're gonna get their money regardless. Let it go through whatever the fuck happens. That's why I'm saying it's just like that's the problem with a police unit, is
Yeah.
that these things escalate when you call the police.
Yes,
it becomes more than what it is.
Exactly.
When you involve the police.
That's the issue with the policing shit. It definitely does escalate because I mean they're kind of ready for that and they kind of want that. That's why a lot of people join the police, you know, or like, bro, it's so crazy. The police shit, like when that was happening, I made a couple of episodes like kind of talking about the police or some thoughts I had, but it was just like the fact that, you know, especially, you know, there should obviously be reforms and defunding and all that shit, but it's just kind of like it should be common sense to people that like it's almost like the easiest way for racists to do hate crimes against like minorities, just to be a cop,
basically.
And it's so easy to become a cop. It like literally takes a couple
like
of weeks.
Months? Yeah, a couple.
No,
weeks,
it literally you can for local police, bro. You can do it in like there's training. There's like 2-week training.
Wow.
To become like a cop.
Yeah.
For local police departments is really
it's not that easy anywhere else either. I know a lot of European countries, it's like you require a degree in some countries.
Exactly.
But then again, well, never mind, because that's not my area to talk. Because now we're talking about global imperialists.
Yeah, global issues gets tricky.
And it's just going to get,
that gets tricky. That's definitely, I don't know much about that either. So yeah.